All right. This is Dan Adair of the Dexter Holmes Story.
Yeah.
So broken he'd become, so irreparably shattered.
Dan, what was your favorite part of doing this project?
Writing it, I would say. Spent more time writing the story in the first 6 months than we did actually picking up any instruments, but I think that was the fun of it, is getting a solid idea about how the stories were going to go and then trying to execute it via moods and contrasting moods and everything. It was cool.
Dan, I understand you and Scarfo originally set out to record an acoustic album. Can you explain to me the thought process behind having 9 musicians do your 10 songs, 12 songs?
Well, yeah, we did start it. I don't know that we really started it to write a record, to be honest. We just started to do some songs because we wanted to keep writing, and at some weird point we decided some of the songs should have a rock vibe because they just seemed like maybe they weren't full enough and weren't electric enough for, like, Never Again is a good example. One of the first songs we wrote clearly needed to be a pretty upbeat punk tune, and it just wasn't going to work on acoustic guitars. And then once we kind of got that ball rolling, it was hard to reel us back in because we've always been part of a rock band. So there's only 2 tracks on the record that actually remained acoustic, and I'm pretty okay with that. I think that I like that we can play them on an acoustic setting, but I'm happy that we got to involve a lot of people.
What would you say is the biggest challenge you faced in this project so far?
Biggest challenge? Besides logistics of trying to get 9 people together, I would say probably writing stage 2, because I had an idea and then had to execute that idea, but wanted it to be at a certain point before I brought it to a band, because it wasn't the kind of song that we were going to work out in the jam hall. So I spent a lot of time just layering myself on my phone, and it didn't turn out the way I expected, but it turned out in a cool way.
You have a punk background. What led you to record a record that is more eclectic?
I think the point of writing not something we'd written before led us to that. Early on we decided that we wanted to toy around with stuff. I mean, again, we started writing it as an acoustic record or acoustic songs, so automatically we were outside of sort of our typical structures and typical sound, and I don't know, it just happened because we wanted it to, pretty much, and then worked out better than I probably thought that it was going to.
What's your least favorite part of what we do here?
I like everything a little bit, I would say. I've always liked doing the live show thing, which I'm happy that we're going to get to do soon. It's going to be a lot of fun to be put on the spot and make sure that we can make it happen. And also prove that we can make it happen, because I don't know if the record comes off as the type of thing that you expect to hear live. But also, I mean, recording has always been a thing that I'm super into. I'm interested in it. I'm terrible at it, but that's why you hire somebody, and you still can, if you have somebody good anyway, you can give them your ideas and the way that you want things to go, and they can execute that better. And then jamming, I mean, this is pretty much, being in a band is about rehearsals and about writing, and so that's definitely the funnest part, is the creative side and let's play the song 6 times so we get it right.
We're 3 weeks away. How confident do you feel?
I feel pretty confident. 2 weeks ago, maybe not so confident. But I think that it's really just a case of everybody knows their songs. You just want to get as tight as possible. And having not played a live show yet, that first one's always nerve-wracking because you just never know what's going to happen. And that's essentially shows in general, but especially without having done it before, and especially with the logistics of 9 people. But the show is going to be excellent because it's 9 people and because we're going to have rotating musicians. That's what I'm most excited about the show.
body's close and raises his arm